welcome to the Urban Herald. As part of our team, we're dedicated to bringing you, well, not just the news, but the stories behind the headlines. We aim for that deeper analysis, that fresh perspective that truly informs. Today, we're taking a deep dive into a figure whose global resonance remains undiminished, even decades after her passing.
Indeed, we're focusing on Princess Diana, often called the People's Princess and Queen of Hearts. Her life wasn't just some royal saga. It was, well, a powerful catalyst.
Right.
It fundamentally transformed the British royal family and really redefined what modern humanitarianism could even look like.
We've drawn from extensive research here in the Urban Herald archives, including our recent piece, Princess Diana, how her compassion redefined royal family traditions. Our mission today really is to unpack her enduring impact.
Yeah.
From her groundbreaking advocacy and those revolutionary changes to royal protocol, right through to her vast cultural influence. We want to give you a kind of shortcut to understanding why. Why, more than 27 years after her tragic death, the world still can't stop talking about her.
Exactly. We'll explore how her unique compassion didn't just break the mold. It created an entirely new template for public engagement. It showed how genuine human connection, even within those tight confines of royalty, can create this, well, almost unparalleled form of influence.
So let's unpack Diana's extraordinary journey, starting right from her beginnings. Born Diana Frances Spencer, July 1st, 1961. She entered the world as part of the British nobility at Park House, Sandringham. It's almost quaint, isn't it? Thinking her childhood playmates included Prince Andrew and Prince Edward, kind of foreshadowing her future in a way.
It is. But what's truly fascinating here, I think, is that despite this privileged aristocratic background, her early life was marked by profound personal challenges.
Read the divorce.
Exactly. Her parents divorced when she was just 6. Hearing, as she once recounted, her mother's footsteps leaving, that left an indelible mark.
Yeah, you can imagine.
This early trauma, this sense of, well, instability, it deeply influenced her later empathy. It fueled her fierce determination, to provide a more stable, emotionally secure upbringing for her own children. A stark contrast to the traditional royal approach.
It really sounds like that early experience shaped her core, didn't it?
Yeah.
She might have struggled academically, but it seems clear she had this natural inclination to help others.
Definitely.
Then, almost out of nowhere it felt like, came the whirlwind romance that just captivated the world. A mere 13 dates with Prince Charles before their engagement was announced in February 1981.
Just 13. And what an announcement that led to. On July 29th, 1981, at St. Paul's Cathedral, their wedding wasn't just a British affair. It was, well, a global phenomenon.
Huge.
Watched by an estimated 750 million people worldwide. That single event instantly catapulted her from a relatively unknown aristocrat to an international icon. It embodied that true fairy tale beginning that just gripped the public imagination. This was the moment she stopped being merely Diana Spencer and became the Princess of Wales, a public figure on a scale we'd never really seen before.
And from that global spectacle, Diana quickly emerged, not just as a princess, but as this unique bridge to the public. Her ability to connect on a deeply human level was truly unprecedented for a royal. Royal expert Anna Harvey noted her very thoughtful approach, but it always seemed to stem from, an authentic, deeply compassionate place. How exactly did she manage to break through centuries of royal protocol to establish such a personal connection?
Well, this is where we see her brilliant, almost intuitive subversion of tradition. Take the simple act of refusing to wear gloves.
Yes.
Traditionally, royal gloves weren't just fashion. They were a deliberate barrier, symbolizing distance, a certain, almost sacred aloofness of the monarchy.
Right.
Diana's refusal to wear them was this powerful, almost rebellious act, physically dismantling centuries of perceived remoteness. She was basically saying, I want to touch you, I want to connect.
And the crouching down to talk to children.
Exactly. And her simple act of crouching to a child's eye level, that wasn't just charming, it was a profound shift. From a royal who bestowed attention from on high to one who connected on an equal plane, meeting people where they were.
It wasn't just about symbolic gestures, though, was it? Diana took the truly unprecedented step of discussing highly personal struggles, like bulimia and depression on national television. That 1995 Panorama interview.
Oh, bombshell, yeah.
How did revealing such vulnerabilities, which seem so counter to that royal stoicism, actually become a kind of strategic asset in building public trust?
It's fascinating because her vulnerability, rather than diminishing her status, paradoxically strengthened her connection. Royal commentators even started calling it passive power.
Passive power, interesting.
This wasn't just emotional openness, it was a radical shift in, well, royal strategy.
Mhm.
By consciously embracing her human struggles and sharing them publicly, Diana transformed the traditional top-down authority of the monarchy into a bottom-up influence. Relatability and authenticity became this new, powerful form of legitimacy.
So she sort of created a royal personal brand.
Exactly. Built on empathy and openness, not just inherited status. And it resonated globally because people saw a part of themselves in her struggles. As Diana herself put it, I think the biggest disease the world suffers from is the disease of people feeling unloved. She truly set a new standard for compassion in public life.
Perhaps her most iconic and certainly courageous act of compassion was during the height of the HIV/AIDS crisis, a time when fear and ignorance were just rampant.
Oh, absolutely.
In April 1987, at London's Middlesex Hospital, she famously shook hands with an AIDS patient without wearing gloves. What was the real impact of that singular gesture?
It was revolutionary. I mean, truly. At a time when many people, even some medical professionals, were still afraid to touch those with AIDS, fearing transmission through casual contact.
Yeah, the stigma was immense.
Diana's simple gesture sent this powerful, undeniable message worldwide. HIV does not make people dangerous to know, so you can shake their hands and give them a hug. Heaven knows they need it. That's what she said.
Okay.
Nurse John O'Reilly, who was there, noted that she showed it was a condition needing compassion and understanding, not fear and ignorance. This act profoundly shifted public perception, helping to destigmatize the disease. It was more than a gesture. It was a quiet but forceful act of education, of advocacy, challenging that widespread misinformation and fear head on.
And her advocacy wasn't just a one-off moment either, was it? She really followed through.
No, not at all. She became patron of the National AIDS Trust, visited Mildmay Hospital, I think 17 times. She championed causes for the homeless, for drug users, for children. Her approach was consistently hands-on, personal.
Sitting on beds, holding hands.
Exactly, listening intently to individual stories. This was royalty actively engaging, not just, symbolically endorsing from afar.
Diana wasn't just redefining public engagement. She wasn't afraid to challenge royal traditions from within. Even at her own wedding, that moment of ultimate traditional pageantry, she omitted the word obey from her vows. A choice, interestingly, later followed by both Kate Middleton and Meghan Markle. That was quite a statement right at the start.
It really was. A very early indicator of her independent spirit, her belief in authentic human connection over rigid formality. She was, even then, challenging traditions in subtle yet significant ways.
Yeah.
As she famously said, "I don't go by the rule book. I lead from the heart, not the head." And that philosophy, it underpinned so many of her departures from protocol. It wasn't just public engagements or wedding vows.
Which leads us right into her approach to motherhood. That was equally revolutionary, wasn't it?
Oh, completely.
She was the first royal to give birth in a hospital, for instance, a significant departure from previous home births. And she insisted on being a hands-on parent, choosing to breastfeed, actively participating in their daily lives. How did this fundamentally reshape things, especially for William and Harry?
Well, if you connect this to the bigger picture, her parenting style was just a radical break from generations of royal tradition, taking 9-month-old Prince William on an official tour.
Unheard of then.
Pretty much. Prioritizing her role as a mother over strict royal duties. And she deliberately exposed both sons to, well, normal life. Trips to McDonald's, Disney World, using public transport.
Right, trying to ground them.
And sending them to mainstream schools like Weatherby and Eton, rather than having private tutors cloistered away. She wanted them to have security, sure, but also a sense of normalcy. She said, "I hug my children to death. I always feed them love and affection. It's so important." This hands-on, emotionally available parenting deeply shaped William and Harry. It influenced their own public personas, their approach to modern royal life. It fostered in them that very empathy and relatability their mother embodied.
But the fairy tale, well, it eventually unraveled. Their marriage, a union between two people who, it really seems, were fundamentally ill-suited, it became complicated by what Diana famously called a third person.
Yeah.
The breakdown became one of the most publicly scrutinized in modern history.
Reports suggest Charles harbored doubts even before the wedding, and his relationship with Camilla Parker Bowles resumed by 1986. This caused Diana profound emotional distress, which tragically manifested, as we know, in eating disorders and depression.
And it all played out so publicly.
In agonizing detail, both participating in those tell-all interviews. Charles admitting infidelity in 94, Diana's famous line in 95. There were 3 of us in this marriage, so it was a bit crowded.
Such a stark quote.
Their divorce was finalized in August 1996. Diana lost her HRH title, Her Royal Highness, which was a significant ceremonial loss. But importantly, she retained her Princess of Wales designation.
Which was key.
Crucial. It allowed her to secure a central role in her sons' lives and, critically, to continue her humanitarian work on the global stage.
This whole situation created one of modern royal history's most enduring narratives, didn't it? Often quite polarizing. Diana's warmth and openness versus Camilla's more reserved demeanor. Camilla often painted as the villain.
Oh, absolutely. Diana was a master at cultivating an authentic public image, that natural charisma, the relatable vulnerability. Camilla, by contrast, was consistently portrayed by the media as the other woman,
Right.
which significantly influenced public opinion against her. Polls at the time consistently showed overwhelming public support for Diana. The media certainly amplified this narrative of Diana as the wronged party, often using quite harsh language towards Camilla.
But it raises a question, doesn't it? To what extent did Diana herself, maybe inadvertently, contribute to that polarized view through her own statements, particularly that Panorama interview?
It's an important question, because while that narrative was emotionally satisfying for many, was it overly simplistic? The marriage itself was incredibly complex, and the demonization of Camilla might have reflected broader societal discomfort with divorce and infidelity, rather than a truly fair assessment of everyone involved.
The public often needs a clear hero and villain, I suppose.
Absolutely. It allowed people to project their own feelings about complex relationships onto this grand royal stage. It also cemented Diana's image as the compassionate, sympathetic figure, which only amplified her subsequent humanitarian efforts.
Beyond her personal life and humanitarian work, Diana's style evolution, it was incredible. Moving from shy-dye to this global fashion icon, her fashion choices became a deliberate form of communication, almost a language.
She truly transformed her wardrobe, working with iconic designers like Catherine Walker Versace. Her most famous moment, perhaps, that revenge dress in June 1994.
Ah, yes, the black dress.
Worn the very same evening Prince Charles admitted his affair on national television. It was a masterclass in using fashion to convey strength, defiance, self-possession, sleek, daring, unapologetically confident. A clear statement she was moving forward.
But it wasn't just about personal statements, was it? What's really fascinating is how she used fashion to amplify her humanitarian message.
Exactly. She'd wear bright colors when meeting children to appear approachable. She wore no hats to allow for hugs, for that direct physical connection. And her attire often reflected cultural respect on international trips. She showed this profound understanding of, well, sartorial diplomacy.
Her influence absolutely endures. Inspiring contemporary designers, her daughters-in-law, even new generations. We see hashtag Lady Irana with over 1.6 billion views on TikTok.
Billions!
It's not just the formal gowns either. Her signature casual look, cycling shorts, oversized sweatshirts, they're still trending today. She really dressed her way into the history books.
She recognized that fashion wasn't just vanity. It was a powerful visual tool for communication, for connection, and she wielded it brilliantly.
In her final months, Diana's humanitarian work reaches powerful and politically charged peak with her campaign against anti-personnel landmines. Her January 1997 visit to Angola, that was a profound display of Diana activism. What was the situation like in Angola then? What made her involvement so impactful?
Angola was just scarred by decades of civil war. An estimated 15 million landmines littering the landscape. Tragically, it had the highest rate of amputees in the world.
15 million.
Yeah.
Incredible.
Diana's willingness to walk through an active, cleared minefield wearing protective gear, it created these iconic images that just transformed global awareness and public opinion overnight.
It wasn't just a photo op.
Not at all. It was an act of profound courage and solidarity. Her involvement was, as you said, politically controversial. Some within the UK government initially called her a loose cannon, accusing her of interfering in foreign policy.
Right.
Yet UK government papers later showed officials recognized the immense success of her campaign. They admitted she achieved more in a few days than diplomats had in years.
And her impact truly reverberated, didn't it? It led to real change.
Absolutely. She contributed significantly to the Ottawa Mine Treaty, that international agreement banning anti-personnel landmines. It was signed just months after her death.
Wow.
Paul Hesluck from Halo Trust, the organization she worked with, noted her involvement made it a lot harder for it not to happen. And the legacy continues. Prince Harry has followed in her footsteps, even walking the same cleared minefield in Angola in 2019, carrying on that vital work.
Then came the devastating events of August 31st, 1997 in Paris, events which fundamentally changed British society. Diana's death in the Pont de l'Alma tunnel sparked this unprecedented outpouring of public grief that just astonished the world.
Yeah, it was extraordinary. Official investigations, including that massive police inquiry, Operation Paget, meticulously re-examined every conspiracy theory. Ultimately, they concluded it was a tragic accident.
Caused by
Excessive speed, 65 mile per hour, in a 30-mile-per-hour zone. The driver, Henri Paul's alcohol consumption, compounded by the fact that no one in the car was wearing seatbelts.
and the paparazzi.
While they weren't found directly responsible for the crash itself, their relentless pursuit came to symbolize the extreme media intrusion that had plagued Diana's life.
But conspiracy theories proliferated, didn't they? Fueled largely by Mohammed Al-Fayed's persistent allegations.
Yes, alleging it was an orchestrated plot to prevent Diana marrying his son Dodi, perhaps because of a pregnancy.
Despite the extensive, incredibly detailed investigations, no credible evidence has ever supported these theories. Yet, a 2013 YouGov poll showed that a significant chunk, 38% of Britons, still believed it wasn't an accident. That reflects a deep emotional investment, doesn't it? And maybe skepticism.
Absolutely. The depth of public grief, that sense of collective loss. For many, a simple accident just seemed insufficient to explain such a monumental tragedy. It became easier, perhaps, to believe in a larger, darker force at play.
The mourning was immense.
60 million flowers, estimates suggested, laid at Kensington and Buckingham Palace. It forced the royal family to adapt to this unprecedented display of emotion.
Right. The Queen's address.
Culminating in the Queen's televised address, a rare moment of personal reflection, and her bowing to Diana's coffin, a powerful symbolic gesture. The funeral itself was watched by an estimated 2.5 billion people worldwide. Just staggering global impact.
The aftermath of Diana's death created what many call the Diana effect, fundamentally altering how the monarchy operates, didn't it?
Oh, profound.
Shifting from that formal distance to more accessible public service. This is clearly Diana's enduring influence on the modern monarchy.
It's unmistakable. Her legacy is clearly visible in her son's approach. William and Harry's mental health advocacy heads together, their consistently hands-on public engagement. It's a direct continuation of their mother's work.
Yeah.
Even Catherine, the Princess of Wales, clearly studies Diana's approach, frequently seen crouching to children's eye level, emulating that personal connection. King Charles III himself has acknowledged Diana's influence. He shows a more relatable, emotionally available approach since his accession, reflecting lessons learned, perhaps, from Diana's success and the public's expectations. As historian Robert Lacey observed, one of the things Diana introduced was the concept of conveying a sense of caring for people.
It shifted the very essence of royal duty, and the monarchy has embraced more open communication, even social media. That's directly traceable to the shift Diana initiated, you could argue.
I think so.
She absolutely changed public expectations. Royals are now expected to demonstrate genuine engagement, emotional intelligence, not just, stoic duty.
And her legacy continues tangibly through things like the Diana Award, recognizing young people for compassion and humanitarian efforts. Her story continues to captivate new generations. The Crown, Spencer, countless TikToks drawing billions of views. Her relevance evolves.
Yeah.
Her model of celebrity advocacy, using fame for causes, visiting affected communities, amplifying marginalized voices, that's become the blueprint for effective celebrity activism today. A powerful example of soft power in action.
Ultimately, her core message feels so relevant now. That power should serve compassion, privilege should serve purpose, and that genuine human connection transcends social barriers. It feels, well, perhaps more relevant than ever in our often divided world. So what does this all mean for us today? Diana's life really demonstrated that authentic compassion, when it's courageously expressed, can indeed create lasting positive change. She established templates for public figures that continued to guide effective engagement and advocacy.
Her enduring relevance ensures she remains not just the people's princess of her era, but a timeless symbol of empathetic leadership and humanitarian service. A force for good whose influence continues to ripple outwards.
Her story offers powerful lessons, doesn't it? Navigating immense public pressure, overcoming personal adversity, maintaining authenticity in that intense spotlight. As new generations discover her, her influence continues to evolve. It inspires us all to ask, how can our own actions, however small, embody that same spirit of compassionate change in our communities?
A truly powerful thought to end on. Thank you for joining us for this deep dive into Princess Diana's extraordinary legacy here at the Urban Herald.
We hope you found this as insightful as we did. Join us next time for another in-depth exploration from the Urban Herald team.